Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome for a new video. Today I want to share with you my experience so far in the league and how I actually made my currency and what works and what didn't work. So to begin with, I will go chronologically from day 1 of the league to what am I doing right now. On day 1 and 2 of the league I did Heist and Chaos recipes. On day 3 I started to do Blight. And I stopped right away because it was feeling so bad in terms of currency making. So you can see here I have my Atlas 3 for day 3 when I respect into Blight, and it was absolutely not rewarding. I was actually quite excited to try Blight after the patch notes with the changes that they did and the addition to prismatic oil. But I absolutely do not recommend doing Blight. Blight maps are not selling, they are not rewarding enough in my opinion, so yeah. Then what I did after trying Blight on day 4, I did respect into Expedition, Harvest. I used Pact with Energy to help with the power of the character while upgrading my gears, to get some movement speed, damage, and resistances. Also, I was using Kairak to help with the Atlas progression to get more map completion. And then once I got enough points, I also got the Eater of the World cluster here and there. So that was for day 4. And then progressively, as my character got stronger, I removed the nodes from the Atlas to get more maps. I removed the cluster for Kairak. I forgot to mention that I was using June Betrayal clusters. I did keep a few of them just to try to see how it was going with farming Veil Orb. So far I did defeat 6 or 7 Mastermind and I got 0 Veil Orb, so this is really not rewarding. I should remove this cluster and also probably remove this one, but the thing is I could move, like this is 4 points here, right? So I could use the 4 points there, but this is basically the same, except I don't need Nico at all, so I could just keep that. This is 20% chance to get June, so it's still quite good. It's giving experience. It's not rewarding in terms of money anymore, but doing the safe house help with the experience, and also there's a challenge to achieve with the safe house. So for now I'm just keeping the 4 points here and there, but I will probably remove that eventually. Also, once I got every node for Expedition, Harvest, Eater of the World, I did grab on top of that Harbinger. Where do I have? I have Harbinger here, there, and there. And once I got all of this, on top of that, I also added Breach. So I have 4 Breach node allocated here. I got the full cluster here and just the 3 of them here. I did respect to the boss side of the clusters for the Atlas 3 right here this morning, so I didn't try it out too much. I did 1 map so far, so I don't have any feedback to give you on this. I will maybe do a video update once I did try it out more. I cannot tell you if it's a good option or not so far. Another note is that I tried the Atlas 3 for Rogue Exile. I got the bodyguard here. I got the Torment Spirit for the Rogue Exile. Basically, I got the Rogue Exile. I got all the Scarab clusters that I could grab, except for the specification. I just got the Ambush because they are quite expensive, and the Essence Scarab. And then the node here to have a pack of monsters that is more rewarding. And then Eater of the World, because this is what I like to farm. When I do Eater of the World, I just click the altar to buff the Eater of the World monsters. and then I don't have to think too much about anything else. This is just like easier to do it that way, in my opinion. This is faster, so this is what I'm doing. And the essence modifier. So basically this Atlas tree is essence, rogue exile, and scarabs. But it didn't feel good enough in terms of money. I feel like harvest and actually harvest and expedition are the more rewarding so far. Bridge is just like extra pack size basically. This is more loot on your map, and this is quite good for gold. This is why I'm keeping the bridge. As I said, June, I should get rid of it. Also, there is 2 points here that I should remove, but I just don't know where to put them so far, and I still have a couple points to grab. So once I'm gonna do that, I will reallocate these 2 points somewhere else. And a quick note on why I did use harvest that early in the league, because when you use harvest, when you're farming harvest life force from very early in the league, it's not gonna sell. It's not gonna be interesting to sell, at least. Like, if you check my exotic, I got like from 10 to 15k life force for each of them, and so far I sold 2 divine of yellow juice. I think it was for 5.8k juice for each divine, and the blue and purple life force I didn't sell any at all. So why would you do that early on in the league? And this is because one of my favorite way of making money in the league. I talked about that in my last video. I like to craft flasks for money, but the most rewarding, in my opinion, is to farm a harvest and to have life force to craft this kind of cluster. They are not so difficult to use, but they are not so difficult to achieve, to craft, but you will need between, like, if you're lucky, like 3k. Obviously you can one click and it's going to be the one, but usually if you're very lucky, you're going to use like 3k life force and you're going to get it. Sometimes it can take up to 20k life force. So, but for like a very cheap cluster like this one, 40 chaos is not even selling, right? I've been listing that for like a few days. It's not selling. So yeah, 30 chaos, 40 chaos, triple modifier, large cluster. This one is definitely not something you want to use your life force on, but these two, this one I overpriced it a bit because I'm not really willing to sell it, but yeah, you see like 5 divine. I got PM last night for up to 9 divines, and I'm gonna use it for my next build. So I just list it like very expensive to see if people are actually buying it for that much. I will sell and make another one. But I did like quite a lot of clusters, and this is how I get my money. So so far, where I'm standing in terms of money, I got 7 mirror shards and a few divines left, some chaos obviously. So I think the price of the mirror shard is going up. Yeah, it seems to get up to 23 divines. So roughly I should have like about 200 divines right now. I'm not upgrading my build anymore. I just bought a claw since my last video because this one was so cheap, it was outrageous not to buy it. It's actually a bit tricky to price, because if you just use a Awakened Trend macro, you have the physical DPS and the crit chance, attack speed, and so on, but you cannot like add a specific type of damage on top of it, so you just have the total DPS. But for Frostblade, you want to have a good base physical damage on your weapon, but you also want to have a good flat added cold damage to have the best in-slot weapon. And that you cannot really... You have the total DPS and the physical DPS. You cannot do physical and cold. So if you check online right now, something similar, the attack speed is going to be very hard to simulate. So let's just say 1.9 attack speed, and the crit chance is really good as well. So let's reduce it to just 9, and then we could put like added cold locally and have something like, I don't know, 100. It's probably more than that. It's more, probably around 150, but let's say 120, right? And see what we get. And there we still don't have anything even close, like there's no results. So let's reduce again, like the physical, maybe the total damage to like 650. And we get one result for 60 divines. So my claw is really good here. I could I could craft on it. Like I could do prefixes cannot be changed, reforge attack speed, and make it even better because we have the crafted attack speed, which is only 20%, and we can definitely get to like 27% attack speed, and the price of the claw, if we get to keep like good critical strike chance, would be insane. There's two ways we can proceed actually. There is like for bragging out and showing the insane claw, we would do the attack speed. We could also do prefix cannot be changed, reforge crit, and try to get tier 1 crit chance and tier 1 crit multi, and then we keep the attack speed crafted. Or there's also prefix cannot be changed. We veil orb the claw, and then we could like X-slam to get crit chance or crit multi and craft the one that we didn't get or something like that. But like there's a few different ways we can achieve something even better. I'm just very happy with what I have so far, and I'm saving up for my next build. This is why I was buying for the last few days the mirror shards, to have my divine orb not losing too much value, and just be able to buy something even better afterwards. So yeah, how I made my money is basically crafting flask, mapping obviously, and crafting cluster jewels. What I love to do every league is to craft a smaller cluster for mana reservation efficiency. It's very easy to achieve. Let me just show you how it's done, because I think you guys should absolutely do it also. I'm just gonna buy a few. So I'm just gonna show you how I proceed exactly, right? I'm just buying a few, like I'm gonna get like 4 or 5, I don't know. I'm a bit low on alternation, so we will see how I can do, but usually like I buy like 500-600 alts, and then I go on to craft, right? I don't know how much was his, but it's probably 10 chaos, whatever. Then I buy a few more. I'm just gonna buy 2. That's gonna be enough for the purpose of the video, right? So there we go. We have 2. So you want to have the item level. I mean, you don't need to have a level 83, but I just do level 83 because the price is pretty much the same as 75 and up, or 77. I don't know what's the level requirement for this threshold before level 84. But just buy item level 83, it's fine. And you want to have like 3 passives absolutely on the jewel, and mana reservation efficiency, of course. So the base jewel is not expensive. It's gonna be expensive if you go for the level 84. That is gonna be like, this league it's not expensive. Usually at this point of the league, the price is gonna be between 8 and 12 divines. But this league, it's not expensive, at least for now. We will see what's going to happen later. But since there was quite a huge nerf on the party play, on the group play, the robot, I guess, is not as interesting or not as much played overall in the league. So this is why I guess the cluster is not so expensive. Aura stacker, armor stacker, stuff like that. They got quite kind of nerf. It's not exactly true, but for the first look at it, it's not as good as it used to be. It's working differently for the armor stacker, so there's like a few changes that makes the cluster less expensive. But enough talking. Let's do into the craft. So what you do, I'm gonna show you also the tool that you can use. What you are looking for when you craft this kind of gel, you want increase effect or introspection. This is the most valuable stuff. If you look at this one here is quite expensive. I got introspection, but on top of that, usually you want some good additional modifier. So of course, increase effect, which is going to increase the effect of your nodes afterward on the gel. So if you compare this one here, it's giving 6% mana reservation efficiency on each node. Since this one has increased effect, it's going up to 7. And this is why the item level 84 is more expensive, is because from level 84, you can actually get a 35% increase effect on the modifier, which is limited to item level 84. So this is why it's more expensive, but also the craft is going to be much more expensive. This is why I like to buy level 83, because as soon as I get something good enough to sell, like since right now the price for the clusters are 10 chaos, usually from 40 chaos on, I just stop crafting, I move to another one, and I sell the item. You don't have to go that low for the price. You can stop at 80 chaos, 1 divine, whatever you want, you know. But in terms of cost opportunity, I think 80 chaos, 40 chaos at the moment is fine. So now onto the craft. So I was saying that if you want to craft the gel and you don't know exactly what you're doing, on top of the introspection and the increase effect, you want to have some good combinations. So the good mods after introspection and increase effect that are, obviously you want good tier, right? If you have like tier 4 and so on, it's not interesting, but tier 1, tier 2 is going to be nice. There's good combinations, like here you have intelligence and energy shield. Intelligence is going to translate into energy shield as well, so this is why they are good together. Resistances overall, they are always good. So from 4 to 5 to all elemental resistance is acceptable. You also have resistance to fire, lightning, and cold damage. So you're also gonna have resistance to lightning, fire, and cold. And for this, you want to have at least like 7 resistance. Like below that, it's not gonna be as good. You see here, I got this one with 4% cold resistance, and it's not selling, but this is mostly because of the 16 to evasion. So if you check the price of this one, excluding the evasion, at the moment we have 2. Mine is listed for 3 divine and the other one for 7. I don't know what the guy has. Maybe he has like this is possible that he has increased effect, but if he did, I guess it would be more expensive. I don't know. I'm not gonna check exactly what he has, but I made a regex here to make sure that you are not missing on anything. Once you're experienced enough, you don't really need the regex. I just do it in my inventory. I don't need to filter anything. But this is just to help you out, making sure you're not missing on anything. So you grab some alternations, you put the regex. I didn't speak about the other modifiers. So the resistances are good. Obviously introspection and increase effect, but the attributes are also really good. The chaos resistance, it depends. It's very tricky, the chaos resistance, because a lot of builds that are stacking auras and which are using this kind of cluster, they are using chaos inoculation. So the thing is with chaos inoculation, if you don't know, your maximum life becomes 1 and you are immune to chaos. So chaos resistance is gonna still be useful for a few builds, but for not too many. Same goes for the life. You can get some decent life roll on the cluster, some flat life. It can be good, but it's more niche. So usually I just pass on the chaos resistance and the life. This is why the chaos resistance is not included. The life roll is not included in my regex. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I do it with the regex, and then we're gonna do the second one without the regex. So basically you make the general magic if it's not, and then you just click. When you have a match, you check what we have, and here there's actually nothing interesting. I actually included the life on the regex here. So we keep rolling. Here we have the 2 all attribute. This is why we have a match, but the roll is just too low. Under 4 to all attribute, it's not worth keeping. So here we have the increase effect and the fire resistance. So it's actually a good one so far. So then you're gonna regal and hope for the best outcome. Obviously would be introspection here. It's really not likely to happen, but you don't want to have any key modifier, which would be like a hatred, haste or something like that. Determination is this league is not bad, so if you have determination, it's worth checking the price. But like zealotry and so on, usually they are just trash. So okay, we have 3 to all element. Let me just check how much it could be here. So we have like a 1 divine jewel here. If we are going to check exactly. So this one has some damage on top, it's not too good. This one has some life. This one is quite nice and could be exalted. So yeah, pretty much the same. It's gonna sell for about 1 divine, right? We have 2 options there. Or we just put it on sale as it is, which is not too bad, right? It's acceptable 1 divine. Or we can try to exalt slam because there is an open prefix. As a quick note, let me show you craft exile. So it's a small cluster, and then it's the reservation. If I can find mana reservation there. So now we do introspection. So as I said, yeah, it's a prefix. So if we are to exalt the prefix here as the introspection, it's going to be a huge win. It's going to be like 10 to 20 divines, I don't know, something like that. So probably 10, I would say, because we have the modifiers. It's only like tier 4 and tier 4, so it's not exceptional. So I would say between 8 and 12 divines. We would need to check that afterward. But there's also the chance to break the divine. So it's worth 1 divine, right? If we are to exalt Master of Command, for instance, or I don't know, mortifying aspect, destructive aspect, pride would be a break for sure. So we would just like lose the divine. But I'm just gonna do it for the sake of the video and see what we are getting, right? And we got 24 evasion, so it's not a big loss here. This is not really meaningful. This is not very interesting either. But at least we still have the divine, right? Now it's definitely gonna sell for 1 divine. So I just put it there. So that was the first way of... if you break the item, you always have the opportunity to annul. You can use the annul sometimes when you have something really good. For the level 83 gel, I would not use the annuls too often, but this is something you can do for sure. Also, you should have some augment. And now we did the first one with the regex, right? Now I'm gonna do it just in the inventory because I don't really need the. So here we have 5 to chaos resistance, so that we can just see what we get, and we get hatred. We don't care about that, so we just keep rolling, right? Hey, here we have a quite good one. Strength is something we really want to look for, and we have the increase effect. So that's I got actually very lucky. Increase effect you don't see it that often, to be honest. So this one we absolutely want to regal it. Hopefully we will not have a modifier that is going to break the gel. And we got energy shield. Energy shield is quite good. We have 2 prefixes, so here exalting the gel is not something I would do, honestly, because the suffixes, there's not much that we are... Like, we could have a good resistance node, or... I don't know. The thing is, we cannot break the item. We could get the all attribute, which would be nice. The resistances... But it's not gonna be like... I'm gonna just do it for the sake of video and show you what we get, okay? And we got 3 to lightning resistance, so it's not too bad. Is it worth like the 15 chaos? How much are the exalt? Yeah, it says 13 here, but I'm telling you it's not 13. It's more like it's more like 15 to 16 chaos at the moment. So was it worth to spend 16 chaos on the 3 lightning rays? I don't know. Maybe. But at the moment we can check it's worth like the two Gerald here. I don't know if we can trust. But it's maybe from 2 to 3 divines, okay? So it's not a bad one, definitely. I'm not looking to keep like something like that absolutely, so I'm just gonna sell it for 2 divines. You want to sell, you want to make sure you're gonna sell not too slowly, so don't overprice your items. Just make sure that you sell as fast as possible. And now to conclude the video, I wanted to tell you about the little upgrade that I made on the build. So as I said before, I did upgrade the claw, which is really good. I also got the Enlighten 3, which allows me to actually fit in the build Flesh and Stone. You have the option, if you follow this build, to use Arctic Armor or Flesh and Stone. I did try the Arctic Armor before, which grant fizz damage from hits, damage reduction, and same goes for the fire damage from hits. And on top of that, you are leaving behind you a trail of chilling floor, which reduces the action speed of the enemy by 30%. As a Frostblade character, I'm not too sure the freezing floor is relevant. And we have the freeze immunity, which as for now is not useful for me because I'm using the Brine King Pantheon, so for now it's not so useful. But if we are to change to another Pantheon, then Arctic Armor might be better than Flesh and Stone. The thing is, Flesh and Stone, it's not only physical and fire hits that are reduced, it's the damage from every hit. It's 19%. It's not level 20. I guess it's gonna go up to 20% after that. But yeah. So Flesh and Stone, I think, is better at the moment, giving us more global. Like you're gonna get reduction to also lightning, cold, and chaos damage. So that's also good. The thing is, the difference between Arctic Armor and Flesh and Stone is that this is the hits are going to be reduced for the enemies in your AoE of the gem. So as you can see, we have the radius here. This is the red thing that we see over there. Oh, by the way, this is the wrong there. So you can see this is red when it's blood stance, and you want to be in sense stance because otherwise you're increasing your physical damage. So this is the yellow radius that you have here, meaning that the enemies outside of this radius, you're not gonna get the damage reduction from. So this is where Arctic Armor is slightly better, because there is no radius, but there's the damage type. So you need to choose. If you're fighting a boss where you know it's gonna be fire or physical damage, like the Eldritch boss, I never remember which one it is, but you know, like the red one, you know, the Searing Exarch. If you know you're fighting a boss which has this kind of damage, then just go for Arctic Armor, it's much better. Otherwise, Flesh and Stone is gonna be, I think it's a bit better at the moment, but it's a different kind of setup. It's not a big deal. You can just try out any of them. It's gonna be good anyway. So yeah, Enlighten helps us with allowing us to do that. Also, if I were, since I got the claw and I got more damage, I removed the cluster here, which was really, really good in my opinion, and is underrated. You don't see too many people using it, but this is so much attack speed. This is actually insane. Not too many people are using it. We could also, if you still grab this this cluster to use the mastery for more life and mana on hit, I think this is something interesting. Or you could also get the 10% of life is instant. That's also something good. But like our tankiness when we are leeching is actually really, really good. So I don't know if it's necessary. But I wanted to have more defense rather than getting so much offense, right? So I removed that cluster here, and I grabbed the reservation efficiency cluster here, and now we can have flesh and stone or Arctic armor. There is something that I would try if I would be pushing the build even further, is to get even more reservation efficiency. Maybe remove the True Strike anointment that we have on the amulet and go for more like champion. Probably we would go for Sovereignty, or which one is it? Which one is better? Oh yeah, actually this is Sovereignty. To get like 12 increased mana reservation efficiency on top of what we have. And maybe try to fit Aspect of the Spider, because Aspect of the Spider would be 10 reduced damage from enemy, so that's actually quite a big deal. And also they take 10% increased damage, so it's offensive and defensive at the same time. This is quite strong. So if I could like get, I think I could reduce the cost of my clarity. It's level 12. I could reduce it to maybe level 3 or 4, and it would be fine still with the tincture. I need to try that out. And precision, I think I could reduce my precision by a few levels as well. So maybe doing that would allow us to actually use Aspect of the Spider. This is definitely a good option. And I think the video has been long enough, so I'm just gonna leave you there. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye!